this one. And plus, when you add Steph Curry down the stretch, it's a nice step in the right direction for the Dubs. Let's hear from Steve Kerr at the Jordan Poole. Dropped 38, 9, and 7. Brought to you by BMW.
What did you think about your team's competitiveness?
Love the competitiveness. It was a great performance in terms of our defense and our energy and just the fight from start to finish. We just couldn't close the game, couldn't finish it out. But I think the main thing, we can come out of that game and recognizing our team. That's our team. So it's a great sign, and that's what it needs to look like from here on out, but with a little better decision-making offensively, and we go from there, and we got a chance to be really good.
Just wanted to ask you about a couple plays late. The Clay off-ball foul, that was kind of killer, and then Jordan chucking up the half-court shot. I assume that's because you guys thought he was going to get fouled.
Yeah, Jordan was trying the Chris Paul trick, where they're going to foul, and so as they reach, you go up and they pulled back, so they didn't foul him. So, but the foul on Clay, I didn't see the play, but yeah, I mean you want to force a team to make a bucket in that situation. They had a little pin, looked like a pin for Booker going, and they got tangled up, and the foul was called.
You mentioned Jordan. You wanted to see Jordan, get into it defensively and be physical. Obviously, he scored the 38 tonight. But did you see that across the board from him tonight?
From Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought his defensive effort was much better than it's been the last couple of weeks, and I think. With Draymond out there setting the tone and Andre back, it lifts up the entire team defensively. And those guys are out there not just doing their jobs in terms of our schemes and coverages, but leading the group and making sure guys are staying engaged. So we just felt much more connected defensively overall, and Jordan was a big part of that.
What kept you in the game? With Jordan being the only one really supplying efficient offense, Clay struggled. Andrew, what were the factors that kept you in the game offensively?
Well, defense. Just getting stops and allowing us to stay in the game and not letting them to pull away. And obviously getting to the foul line. 20 for 25 from the foul line was a good performance, and we rebounded pretty well. But the main thing is when you defend, you're always in the game, and that's the whole point. If you can defend at a high level, get stops, then you got a chance.
We've been talking about defense for the past week or so during that road trip. What were the specific things different about tonight that allowed you guys to really lock in on that end? Just the intensity and the connection between the five guys on the floor. The help was there, and the ball pressure was good, and guys competed. They played really, really hard.
Kind of piggybacking off the previous question, the Suns had a 12-2 lead really early on, and then the tables kind of turned, and you guys pulled ahead by 3 by the end of the third quarter. What kind of prompted or motivated that surge?
The defense, defending and getting stops. And I think Draymond took a step tonight, though. It looked to me like he was a step quicker to the ball, a step quicker to his rotations. Looked like he turned the corner physically, and that was a great sign.
Staying on the theme of defense, it seems like that game really flipped in the first quarter when Gary came into the game. What are your thoughts on the way he guarded tonight? I know he spent some time on Booker, on Paul.
Yeah, Gary has been doing this for us all season, and it's a good matchup for him because they've got two all-star Hall of Fame guards, and it requires a lot of attention, a lot of focus, and a lot of manpower, and so Gary's a great option to help on those guys.
Steve, you just touched on it, but is this the best that Draymond has looked since he's gotten back?
Yeah.
What's the balance for you when Clay's having one of these off shooting nights? Obviously, he's come back. He's had huge nights, but at times tonight, obviously, they're quick shots. He's 5 of 21. How do you guys try to balance that? And maybe have him cut some of those out in those.
Yeah,
moments?
I mean that's all part of it for Clay. That's kind of how it's been, and not totally unexpected coming off of a 2.5-year absence. A lot of ups and downs, and he's such a competitor. He wants to do well so badly. He tends to press when things aren't going his way, but that's just because of how much he cares. And just got to keep encouraging him. The whole point is we got to get great shots for each other. And Clay had a couple of games on that trip that we just got home from where he gave up the ball and got it back, and he's got to trust that it's going to come back to him. And when he does that and the ball moves, that's when we're at our best anyway.
Before the game, you talked about how you were watching film, saying earlier, this was our team earlier in the year. How important was it to see, that same, like the resemblance of that early team at this point in the season and against, someone like the Suns who are so high in the standings?
Yeah, I mean, that's there's 5 games left now, so we've talked about it really for the last couple of weeks. Every game matters, every possession matters. It's a chance to get better, it's a chance to get whole, and so this has to be a game we use as a springboard. The defense has to hold. We have to demand that, and now we have to execute better. We had I think 14 turnovers in the first half. We had some big turnovers in the second that hurt us. I thought our energy was so good that we almost got too excited offensively, and it probably hurt our decision making some. But that's okay, because as long as you're competing and defending, now you got a chance, and now we've got some tape to look at and some things to work on in practice, and we can improve that decision making and go from there.
Steve, what do you think of Jordan? Jordan had 38.7 assists, and he looked like he had a wrist issue at some point. Do you know what happened there? And just what do you think of his overall game tonight, offense?
He's got a little flair for the dramatic. Jordan does. When he gets hurt, the whole world knows he's hurt. So, he banged his wrist, and I saw him doing that, and then he went out and made like 3 threes in a row. So I figured the wrist was fine.
What did you think about his performance overall, no offense?
I mean, he kept us in the game. He was amazing. He's playing with so much confidence. He can create space, and then he has the poise to, not rush his shot after he creates the space. And that's the maturity that he's shown here over the last couple of years as he's come into his own. His rookie year, he would create some space and just chuck it. He thought the defense was going to get out to him. Now he knows where his shots can come and when they're going to come, and he takes his time, and he just has great confidence.
Steve Kerr talking about Jordan Poole there. He is playing with great confidence. He's on a heater right now, 7 made.